Hey guys, welcome back to Puffalauda, and welcome back to Café Enchanté. Bad things are happening. We're gonna find out what's going on because it sounds like people are dying, so let's get into it. I definitely break the speed limit trying to reach the GPM within 5 minutes after receiving the distress call.
じゃあ行ってくるよ。イルとカヌスが来てくれる。彼らが来るまではじっとしてて。僕も多分15分くらいで戻るから。
Understood. Please be careful.
さて。
After parking my car on the side, I check to make sure I have everything on me. I gaze up to the towering building. The GPM headquarters towers above the buildings in Shinjuku. The usually bustling building is now silent amid the cold night.
どう考えても結構な事件だと思ったけど、外から見る限りは騒ぎになってない。
I know the silence doesn't match the call, which probably means things are much worse than expected. I hurriedly head inside with my guard up. Then suddenly... Oh god, trigger warning! Trigger warning! I hear the screaming from amid the silence of the night. A faint resonating scream fills my ears. The hallway is empty. None of the lights are on. I follow my instincts directly to the R&D department where I think Mikado should be hiding.
おい、大丈夫か?
I find one of our men on the ground. Wee. This is your Puffalauda trigger warning. Yes, as I predicted, there is going to be a lot of suffering in this, and unfortunately, I have to say, this is a major plot point to Rindo's entire route, so if you're uncomfortable with any of the following, I would just suggest, reading about it instead of watching this, just because there's a lot. There's a lot that happens that is just, I can see how it would make somebody extremely uncomfortable. Along with the usual suspects of death and pain and etc. that show up for trigger warnings, I have to warn you that this route in particular is more heavy than what Café Enchanté is normally like, at least from what we've played so far. So if you're not ready for just an emotional roller coaster, then I would just read a blog post that I know a ton of reviewers have done blog posts on Rindo's route and everybody else's route and stuff like that. So I would just read one of those instead. For those of you who are ready to get things started, then let's go. And I apologize in advance for how shocked I am and how upset I get. I hurry next to his side to check on him, but his body was already cold and lifeless. I could feel the cold coming from his body. His body was unnaturally frigid, to the point it was freezing.
これは失血死。
That's odd. I don't see any blood splatter or anything around here. What is happening here? I hear something. I hear something near the shadows.
誰だ?
I point my gun towards the shadows. Oh god, Rindo, get out! Get out! Run away! I can hear breathing. But whoever it is isn't coming out from the shadows.
警告は一度だけだ。おとなしく出てこないなら撃つ。
A few seconds of silence. Ah! Suddenly, a black shadow reaches out to me. I quickly step back. I whip my gun towards the shadows. I pull the trigger. Oh no! 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 Get the people in there. Help him. God. Kotone. Oh, God. I don't want Kotone to go in there. Don't go in there. But everybody else. Oh, God. I hope Mr. Rindo is all right. I'm still inside Mr. Rindo's car. I look at my phone as I wait for him to return. God, what if he fucking dies? What if, that would be so fucked up. What if in his route he dies and the whole thing is you just being with his memory or something? That would be so awful. I would cry. I think I would literally cry. That call from earlier.
もしもし、リンド。
課長、リンド課長ですか？課長、助け。
From the looks of it, it doesn't look like anything's going on inside that building. I wonder what's going on. Then suddenly, I notice a familiar figure come down slowly from the skies. Ew, what the? In his arms was Mr. Rindo. No! No! Eel? Mr. Rindo? I jump out of the car, to which Eel suddenly stops.
ストップ。近づかないで。
Huh? I stop in my tracks as I hear Eel's rarely heard stern tone. I then notice Canis appear from behind Eel. He didn't look very well either. Eel? Canis? What's going on? What happened to Mr. Rindo? I try to hold back my shaking as Eel calmly explains the details. Oh God. They went to the GPM right after I called. Scoping out the building, they found a number of GPM staff on the floor. Most of them were already dead, but amid the bodies they saw Mr. Rindo in critical condition. So they quickly dove into the building. Based on what they saw there, they assumed the GPM was attacked, but they decided to prioritize Mr. Rindo's safety first and fled. And now, they said they sensed something like a hex coming from Mr. Rindo. A curse? Hex? I'm not sure what that is, but I noticed Eel nod hearing me saying the word.
ええ、私はそういった類の術式には強いので耐えられますが、人間であるあなたが触れた場合、どうなるかは保証できません。
But can we take him to the hospital?
やめた方がいいだろう。どんな二次被害が起こるかもわからぬ。人間の意志に何かできる類ではない。一度アンシャンテに戻り、取れるだけの対応をするべきだ。
I feel myself getting pale seeing Mr. Rindo's lifeless face. All I could do was nod in response to their suggestions. What about his car? No one knows how to drive. I returned back to Enchanté with Eel and Canis in tow. We carry the unconscious Mr. Rindo to an open room in Enchanté. Everyone there has come to see how Mr. Rindo is doing. Mizir and Eel cast something in the area to allow me to go near him, but no matter what we do, we can't seem to get rid of whatever it is eating away at Mr. Rindo.
ひどいうなされようだな。
普通の怪我じゃないね、これ。外傷はほとんどないように見えるけど、生命力がごっそり持っていかれてる。
Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo's body is smattered with black all over. It must be the hex Eel mentioned. No doubt that's making Mr. Rindo suffer. To think I was talking with him casually a few hours ago. He said he'd return, but not like this. Why is this happening? I'm frustrated knowing that all I can do is pray for his recovery. For now, I need to let the patrons take care of him. I stand there just looking at the immobilized Mr. Rindo, moaning in agony. Oh, God. I don't know who this is, but it's mid-afternoon. Everyone is at Café Enchanté. Mizir, Canis, Eel, and Ignis are there. Karya heard the news early this morning, and he came running by to see how he can help. They all decide on what they can do and investigate what happened at the GPM. As for the owner of the cafe, she's currently with Rindo and offering whatever care she can.
それで、どうだった、カヌス？
カリアと共に健康診断という名目で本部の中を歩き回っては見たのだが、
職員の人たちに話を聞いてみても特に何かが起きてるって様子はなし。変な人がいないかって聞いてみたけど、何千人単位の職員だし 全部は把握できないって。
What?
イグニスはどうですか？
A cover-up?
こっちも収穫なしだ。ベスティアに来てる GPM の連中にも聞いちゃみたんだが、本部で問題が起きたとは聞いてねえそうだ。
そっか。こっちも引き続き重曹を除去できないかいろいろと試してみたんだけど成果なし。
今解析を進めていますが、原因と回復方法の究明は時間を要する見込みです。
重曹か。めんどくせえな。殴れねえもんが相手なのはよ。
しかし一体なぜそのようなものがリンドを蝕むのか。
カヌスいる。そのリンドを襲った相手確認はできなかったの？
ええ、こちらでは残念ながら。ですが現場にはリンド以外の犠牲者も倒れていました。
故にそれらの話も一切出てこないというのはどうにも不自然ではないだろうか。
気に食わねえな。何がどうなってんだ。
With Rindo down, there isn't much we can do now. It was then we heard footsteps. Oh, now it's Kotone. I don't know who. Okay. I come down to the main floor to grab a sip of water with what little time I have. I notice the usual motley crew talking with each other. It hits me that I haven't tended to the cafe today like an owner should. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let me get something ready.
いいから、てめえは座って休め。そんな憔悴した顔で飯作られても気持ち的にうまくねえよ。
というか少し眠った方がいいよ。君昨日は全然寝てないでしょ。
No. I did want to go to sleep. But I kept thinking the worst of what would happen if I wasn't awake to tend to him. I spent so much time thinking of what I should do that the morning had snuck up on me.
看病の続き俺がやっておくよ。水も俺なら簡単に冷やせるしさ。
He has a point. Water can get lukewarm pretty quick, so having Karya keep things cold would probably be better. Well, if you say so, I'll take a break.
おやすみ。
With that, I go to my bedroom to rest. Still, I can't get rid of all this built-up anxiety. I'm not so sure I can sleep at this rate. 3 days have passed since bringing Mr. Rindo here. Whoa.
おい、リンドの野郎が目覚ましたってマジか。
Oh.
具合はどうだ。
Canis and Ignis rush into the room as I help Mr. Rindo up so that he can sip on some water. But both of you, calm down, will you? Mr. Rindo's still sick.
君たちが騒がしいせいでおちおち寝てもいられないね。
I'm glad he's awake. He's still in pain, but the sight of Mr. Rindo awake makes Canis and Ignis let out a sigh of relief.
心配させんじゃねえよ。
Oh.
皆ずっと心配していたぞ。カリアも熱を冷やすのを手伝ってくれていてな。
あの箱入りも珍しく、ゲームそっちのけで真面目にてめえの容体ミシェルとどうにかできないか調べてたしな。
そっか、みんな心配してくれたのか。まさかの事態だね。これは後で何かお返しが必要かな。
That's a good idea.
よっしゃ、そんなら会計祝いに俺が肉焼いてやるよ。
病み上がりに焼肉は重すぎるのではないか。
And with that, the two rush out of the room while debating what to prepare for Mr. Rindo. With the room now empty and silent, he lets out a sigh. Are you alright? You still have a fever, so... Mr. Rindo quickly stops me from finishing my thought by quietly saying that he's alright. I feel a shiver run down my spine as I think of his lifeless face from earlier. He was so pale, it was as if he was drained of all his blood. I was so worried I thought he'd never wake up again.
これでも一応 ソアンさんに君を任された立場なのに、こんなに心配させちゃ世話ないね。
Please, don't worry about me. On the contrary, you should rely on me to take care of you. Just let me be worried, got it? I'll take responsibility of getting you back in tip-top shape again.
それは役得だね。
I try to smile, seeing Mr. Rindo joke about his situation. But I can't get myself to smile seeing his body like that. How can I smile in this condition? The hex. His body's been covered in black by the hex even after he woke up. Actually, it looks worse now than it did before. Mr. Rindo, what happened back there? Canis and Neil mentioned that there were others around you who fell victim when they found you. But no one at the GPM is acknowledging or admitting to know what happened, which probably means that someone is purposely trying to hide what happened that night. Also, who attacked you, Mr. Rindo? Mr. Rindo pauses for a bit. He hesitantly begins to speak.
確証はない。だけど、間違いなくこの耳で聞いてしまったから。
He closes his eyes and frowns in suffering. I wait in silence for what he'll say next.
声が聞こえたんだ。
A voice?
ああ、
Oh no.
僕の妹の声が。リンド雫の声が。
Shizuku's voice? Come to think of it, we've been trying to get in contact with Mikado to no avail. I'm worried that Mikado was also in danger from what happened back there, but if what Mr. Rindo heard is true... I try my best to say something to help ease the tension Mr. Rindo held. You know, maybe we can think about it a bit later. First, let's get you back in shape. I try to brighten the tone, but Mr. Rindo simply nods in agony. His body is badly hurt, but his soul is probably hurting even more. Mr. Rindo lets out a smile after he rolls back down on the bed.
少し休ませてもらうよ。目が覚めたらコーヒーをもらえるかな。
I don't think it's good for your stomach to drink coffee right after you wake up. We both chuckle a bit before Mr. Rindo slowly falls asleep. I can hear him snoring already. Mr. Rindo must be exhausted beyond belief. I can only assume he forced himself up to bring us all a little relief. Putting himself last is so like Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo, please get better soon. I'll have the coffee ready whenever you wake up. I gently pull the blanket onto him. I can't take my eyes off Mr. Rindo's sleeping face. I leave the room after spending a few moments there. I recall what Mr. Rindo told me earlier. I wonder if what he told me is true. When he was afflicted with the hex, he said that he heard his younger sister Shizuku's voice. If so, was Mikado around there too, considering how close he was to Shizuku? No, Shizuku... Rather, Ku is a Type 2 non-human. I thought Type 2 non-humans are unable to talk. I try to think, but there are too many unknowns for me to come up with a conclusion. In any case, it's great that Mr. Rindo finally came to and is able to talk. I just need to worry about making sure he's well again. I keep pacing back and forth as I ponder what I should do. I then notice Mazir and Eel, who went missing in the morning, talking together near the stairs. Mazir, Eel, Mr. Rindo woke up! Oh. Huh? I thought Mazir and Eel would leap in joy from the good news, but for some reason they don't look very happy. And I was thinking about making some porridge. Oh, and you should see Ignis. He's all into grilling some meat for him. He's still resting in the room, but I'm hoping a few good meals will make him feel better and...
回復はしないよ。
What? Huh? Did I just hear him wrong? I asked them to speak a little louder, but neither of them seemed to want to say anything.
イルと呪詛の解析を続けてはっきりした。 触れたものの生命力を根幹から削り続ける類のものだ。
ゲーム的に言うのならば、最大 HP が今も減り続けている状態です。回復することは不可能です。
Oh god. Wait a second. Huh? But you're lying, right? He came to, didn't he? I mean, he's still in a bit of pain, but
少しではないでしょうね。あれは常人なら悲鳴を上げ、のたうつような痛みを伴うはず。もし彼が無事なように見えるのであれば、それはすべて彼の演技でしょう。
Eel's words hit me bluntly on the head like a hammer. Wait, so what was that smile earlier? My vision begins to blur as I falter a step back. It's not over. Azir continues with the cold, hard truth.
騒いでもどうにもならないし、できないから話すけど。ことね。落ち着いて聞いてくれる。
There's a lot. Maybe you should let her sit down or something. What is it?
リンドは持ってあと2日だと思う。
No. Huh? My mind goes blank. What Mizir just said is simply not registering in my mind. Did he just say 2 days? 2 days what? Mr. Rindo? Mr. Rindo's life? Only 2 more days? You're lying. My legs begin to tremble as I fall against the wall. Why? What's going on? He was so calm. He was smiling back at me like how he usually does. And now he's going to die?
あまりにも急すぎるのはわかる。それを飲み込めないこともね。けど、それがリンドウが置かれた現状だ。
He can't. I don't know what to say. If Rindo dies, I'm gonna cry. I'm already heartbroken. It's so hard because, when you play these roots and stuff like that, you, get so invested in the characters, and then for him to have gone through so much suffering and then just to die in the end, it would just be so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? I muster whatever strength in me to ask, to which Eel quietly shakes his head.
今のところは何も。仮に解決策があるのだとすれば、呪詛の元を断つしか方法がありません。
Well, then we can!
当然、彼の傷の解析が進んだ段階で、すでに GPM 周辺に呪詛の元がいないか、広域探知を行っていました。けれど、探知には引っかからなかった。となると私には見つける術がありません。
How about Mizir? I quickly turn and implore Mizir for a cure, to which he shakes his head.
ごめん。俺にもできることはないんだ。地位と魔王とか言いつつ、結局何もできない。俺は誰かを救ったことがない。こんな言い方はしたくないけど、俺はやっぱり魔王なんだよ。壊すことしかできないんだ。
とはいえ、私たちも諦めたわけではありませんから、できる限りのことは行いますが。
They both promise me that they'll do their very best to help save Mr. Rindo. But their eyes were devoid of hope. It was as if they were saying that it's already seemingly impossible. No. It's deep into the night now. I'm looking at the ceiling in a daze. I've been like this for nearly an hour now. I can't seem to get myself to fall asleep.
そうか。みんな心配してくれたのか。
Mr. Rindo's words come and go from my mind as I hear the clock tick and talk.
まさかの事態だね。これは後で何かお返しが必要かな。
He was smiling. I thought he was going to be okay. And yet, he's going to die. No. My heart is rejecting reality. But Mr. Rindo hasn't woken up since then. Mazir Neal would never lie about something like that. Then it's really true.
お、今宵は僕のための喫茶店か。なんだか嬉しくなる響きだね。そうか。そんなに気に入ってくれるなら、
Oh
たまに料理するの
no.
も悪くないね。
This is so mean. I'm gonna cry. Oh god.
僕も多分15分くらいで戻るから。
No, don't go. The time I spent with Mr. Rindo flees from my memories. He said he'd be back. We were only separated for a short while. I won't be able to see Mr. Rindo as his usual self anymore. He said he wouldn't mind taking up cooking again. The more I recall memories of Mr. Rindo and I, the more the reality of his death creeps up on me. My eyes begin to water with tears when I hear my phone ring amid the silence of the night. I grab it quickly and look at the display. Mikado? The one person we couldn't reach. Hello? Is this Mr. Mikado? I hurriedly reply, to which I'm greeted with silence from the caller. But soon enough, a voice comes through hesitantly.
君に話があるんだ。リンドの命に関わる内容だ。でも電話で話すことはできない。どうか一人で公園まで来てほしい。
Huh? He cuts the line before I have the chance to reply. I look at my smartphone and think about that call for a bit. If what Mr. Rindo said was true and his younger sister, Shizuku, did attack him, then Mikado must be involved in some sort of way. But if that's true, then this could be dangerous. But Mikado sounded like he was suffering. And we're gonna stop here. Oh my god, I'm gonna save too, god, just in case, but oh my god, I'm so miserable, I'm so sad. Oh god, please, like, if we go hang out with Mikado and Mikado somehow, like, releases the hex or something on Rindo, then he'll survive, right? But if Mikado is just trying to get us over there to suck the blood out of us or something, then both of us will die. So, I don't know. Ugh, I really hope... Oh, God. Like, if Rindo dies, I will be so upset. I'm sure everybody watching this will be upset because he's just such, like, a... I don't know, like... He's grown on me so much in his route, and like I just see him as like almost like a family member, you know. Like even though he's supposed to be Kotone's like romance, like romantic option, I just feel like he's like a family member. He cares so much about being with us together, you know. Like I don't know, he cares so much about Kotone's health and everything, and. I will be so upset. Oh my god. Next episode, we'll try to help him, and if we can't save Rindo, then I'll cry.